Hey guys, I just wanted to make an update to my FreeNAS build. I just realized something while I was looking at the specs, and I was just reading around, and I was actually going to limit my bandwidth on my entire RAID array by using a PCI 1 slot, because I had a 2-port SATA that was going to use one lane on PCI 1.1. This is a PCI 2.0 slot, but the card I got was a PCI 1 compatible card, so it would have only given each lane 75 to 85 megabytes per second, which could possibly limit the bandwidth on these drives. And I mean, these drives are already like the slowest part of this build, so I figured that I wouldn't want to limit the bandwidth on them. So yeah, I ended up realizing this thing uses PCI 2.0, this board, so I could get a PCI 2.0 card here. And I got a PCI 2.0 card, the Rocket Raid 2720 on eBay. I just won the auction last night for around $105 shipped. And it's it's an 8-lane card. It has 8 SATA ports, and it's PCI 2.0. So it gives each port, if you used all 8 lanes, 300 to 350 megabytes per second. I'm going to use only 6 to 7 of those lanes. So I'm going to get slightly higher. And I'm only using 6 to 7 of those SATA ports. Sorry, I'm only using 4 of the lanes because this motherboard only supports 4-lane cards here, or it's only using 4 lanes. So it drops down to whatever the fastest the two can connect at, the PCI card and the motherboard. So I'm going to be giving each port over 150 megabytes per second. So that shouldn't limit these drives at all. I'm going to run the SSDs off the motherboard, and I think it's probably connected through a ×8 or ×16, hopefully, the onboard SATA controller. So I don't think that's the limiting factor. So I'm going to have the SSDs connected here on the motherboard. I'm going to have 7 drives connected to an 8-port card here. I'm going to show it on eBay in a couple seconds, but let me just show here. I have to buy 2 more of these hard drives, the HD204 UIs. So I just wait for them to find refurbished ones, or ones that are going undervalued on Amazon or eBay. So just constantly I'm looking for those. So I'm going to get one for there, obviously, to finish off my RAID, and I'm going to throw a spare in there. So I'm going to buy a cage that takes two 5.5 inch drive bays and converts it to 3.5 inch drive bays. So I'm going to put a spare in there, a spare hard drive, and it's actually going to be connected already. And the way ZFS handles spares is if you relate a spare to a pool, then once the Z pool has a failing drive, it'll just switch the spare in. So if any of these drives failed, it would switch the spare in, and then you could choose to have the spare be a permanent replacement, or you could replace that drive with another drive. So basically, it's unmanaged replacement of drives. So I'd have to lose 3 drives in a row to lose the thing, but I could lose 2 drives, and then as long as this thing replaced in time, I could lose a 3rd drive after that. So it's pretty awesome, but yeah, it's just even less user management needed. It still would alert me, obviously, and I have my Chinga set up so that this will alert me when there's ZFS problems. So I'd still know about it by email, like, pretty instantly. But anyway, yeah, and I'm going to take one of those 3.5 inch slots that I'm going to make over there and have a 3.5 inch to dual 2.5 inch drives, so I could put the two SSDs I'm going to have in there. As you can see, I have one SSD right back there, just like hanging there. It's kind of hard to see. Sorry guys. But yeah, there's like one SSD just hanging there in the wires. I'm going to have 2 in there. That's the cheaper MLC one. Actually, it was more expensive when I originally bought it a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago. That's an MLC drive, but I'm going to get an SLC drive for logs to speed up writes on this system. So I'll have those 2 drives. I can't wait to benchmark this thing. I really want to see how far I can push this motherboard. I feel like it's going to end up being the CPU that's the slowdown factor, or possibly the NICs. It's most likely the NICs, but we'll see. I really want to max out 1 gigabit, and then see if I can, once I have 2 NICs, see if I can use both ports. So I'm going to only have 1 RAID card in here. Like I said, it's an 8-port card, 8 SATA port card, that's going to run off 4 lanes of PCI 2.0. And then I'm going to put I took out the NIC that was a PCI X that was in here, in one of the PCI slots, and I'm going to get a PCIe NIC. I got it for $10 on eBay, used. slightly used, and it's just the standard PCI NIC that most people get. I forgot what the name is, the model number, but yeah, they're normally like 20. You can get it on Newegg right now for 25 bucks, or normally 30 bucks. But I saw a used one on eBay, so I just grabbed it for 10. So that's going there. So you'll see this build soon enough. These hard drives might take a month to get, but everything else is going to be in place. You can see the wiring is kind of messy, but it'll be as clean as I can get it without carrying too much. So let me move on to what I bought. So, oh crap, that's not it. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so this is the auction I ended up winning. I know it's here. Let me see if I can get this flash to go away. How the heck do you change the options? I don't know how to do it. Okay, anyway, okay, well, let's block with my, no, that's not gonna work. Okay, that works. I'm blocking the flash with my finger. Alright, you can see I won it for $96 with $10 of shipping, so $106, I lied earlier. It's the High Point Rocket Raid 2720 SGL 8-port PCI 2.0 times. Oh yeah, it uses SAS. It uses SAS thing. So you have to get I had to get 2 wires for $8 each that convert SAS to 4 SATA slots. So you can see, yeah, I don't know. You can just look it up. It does not have drivers in FreeBSD 8.2, which FreeNAS 8.2 is based off of. It does have those drivers in FreeBSD 8.3, which FreeNAS 8.3 will be based off of, but you can just throw the driver in there and put a parameter in your loaders.com file. It takes about 10 seconds. I do need to flash this card with the non-RAID because I'm gonna just have these as JBOD setups. So I'm going to flash it with the BIOS, I'm going to put the driver. Okay, this finger thing's getting annoying. I'll just have you deal with the light. So yeah, that's the card. Okay, now let me move over here. This is the crap I am selling. So this came from my sister's, actually my friend's desktop machine. He's not using it anymore. Long story, whatever, but I don't need that. So I'm going to try to either sell this stuff on Craigslist for like $5 each, or a lot of these things don't even have value at this point, so it kind of sucks. This is an N card, but I don't know, no one buys wireless cards, they just buy USBs for some reason. So it's a wireless N card, dual band. This is the PCI X, wait, no. This is a PCI card I got. This actually is a really good card. It's cheap and everything, it's like, you know, $10 on eBay, but you should be able to get around gigabit speeds on it. Only problem is it has a little bug in FreeBSD, like past version 7.2, where if you max out the throughput, it like locks up on you. So it doesn't work on FreeBSD. It should work on Linux or Windows just fine. So I don't know if anyone needs that. Then here's the 2 RAID cards. Here's the one that was the 4-port I had, and the 2-port. This is the one that would have limited my bandwidth. So yeah, these are kind of a waste. This cost me $20. This cost me like 60. So waste of $80 right there. I don't have anywhere to put them in. So if you guys want them, you can maybe I can work out a deal, sell you them really cheap, just ship them to you. So those are some crap I need to either get rid of or sell. Last thing. Okay, this is a completely different project. So on to something completely different. Okay, something I got. I'm gonna wire my sister's house with Cat 6 cable, and whatever left over I'm gonna save for whenever I buy a house. Bam, 1,000-foot Cat 6 from Monoprice costs around 120 or 110. Got some parts. This is the PCI X card that was in there that I'm no longer gonna use. This is going in her PF Sense box. I built her PF Sense box out of a GX 280. It's a, you know, one of those Dell workstation machines. It has a not a Core 2 Duo, what are those called? It has a Pentium 4 in it, and it's working fine. It's only at 0.2% CPU load when it's idling. It works great. Right now it has the onboard NIC, which is 100 megabits, and then I found an extra NIC that was 100 megabits that I pulled out of another like Pentium 3 machine. So then I'm going to throw this in there. The GX 280 has PCI 2.2 support, which supports these kind of PCI X cards. I don't know if it's going to run at full speed. I think it'll run half speed, which is okay because half speed still can max out gigabit. So this will be a gigabit card in there. I'm going to definitely make a video when I wire up her house. It's going to be pretty awesome. There's going to be around 6 Ethernet cables running through her ceiling and stuff, and I'll show how awesome it ends up being. She's going to have a XBMC box in her room, an XBMC box in the front room. My nephew's room is going to be wired up for his Xbox and his desktop. Oh yeah, the front room was also going to have an extra Ethernet for another Xbox in case they need it, or like a PS3 or something. They're going to have, the wireless wired up, and everything. The Pentium 4 is extremely loud when it's doing stuff because it's got a crappy old fan. I'm gonna like redo the thermal paste on the thing, see if that helps at all, and see if I can replace the fan. I doubt it though. So what I'm gonna end up doing is putting that in the garage and figuring out a way to deal with dust. But that should be really awesome, a really awesome project. I'm gonna try to do that next week when I'm home. So yeah, here's some of the tools I got. This is like $6. A bunch of stuff. Really recommend Monoprice. It's a great site to get this stuff. But if you're gonna do it, try to do it all in bulk because their shipping can add a couple bucks if you do it multiple times. I ended up doing 3 orders from them, so I probably wasted like $4 to $5 on shipping that I didn't need. So yeah, 1,000 foot of Cat 6, a bunch of little things. You end up getting these, which are punch down Ethernet jacks. Yeah, just look it up on their site. So that's going to be a cool project. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I basically have that box coming up maybe in like 2 weeks that I'm going to get finished, and I have my sister's house project, and those are the 2 major projects I'm working on right now. I mean, this isn't really much of a project. It'll take like 10 minutes to set everything up, but her house is going to take a couple hours to wire everything, and it's going to be pretty awesome. She's going to have, like I said, 2 XBMC setups, 2 open elect boxes, syncing through MySQL. I have that in my current house here in San Luis Obispo where I'm going to college, but one of the XBMC boxes is just my desktop, and I just did it to test. I don't watch movies on my desktop unless I'm just sitting there. So she's going to have 2 like HTPCs, atom powered motherboards throughout her house. So one in her room, one in the living room, syncing their libraries, their media libraries, and their database through MySQL. I'm going to show the hardware setup, and if you guys have any questions on the software, I can help with that too. Yeah, so it's pretty awesome. I can't wait to show that. You'll see that even a Pentium 4 still has some use if you don't care too much about power usage. So yeah, that's what I got so far. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys later.